Let me take you all the way back to the year 2007. YouTube was a very, very different place, with videos of all nature ruling the platform. If you grew up using YouTube around 2005 to 2012, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There were many creepy videos, strange videos, and just completely original works of art that you'd never see today. A video that encapsulates everything I just listed perfectly is one by the name of Pest Control, Kill Chuck E. Cheese, by a band named the Radioactive Chicken Heads. For some context, Chuck E. Cheese was one of the most popular destinations for kids back in the 2000s, and was a very, very different place compared to today. Me and many others look back on the old school Chuck E. Cheese with a lot of nostalgia and joy, but it seems that the Radioactive Chicken Heads don't necessarily agree with that sentiment. The video starts off with a bunch of kids throwing food at each other in a mock Chuck E. Cheese restaurant. Behind them, a Yuck E. Cheese banner is displayed. There's a really cool animatronic band playing on stage, which you'll soon see are much more than just a parody of Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. We see a pizza chef very grossly assembling a pizza while a bunch of costume waitresses walk by. Plates on the wall seem to be an homage to the original Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater logo. We then see that there's something lurking within this pizza joint, scaring patrons and stealing pizzas. The chef comes out to check what all the commotion's about, and is pretty quickly informed that a rat is running around and stealing pizzas. He ends up calling Pest Control, run by this guy, Topp. This is where the song officially starts. The band comes to life and starts playing, and things start to get crazy. The video employs mixed media visuals, like the background outside Topp's car and the sky with these fake clouds. Things like this are subtle but add to the creepy nature of the video. Chucky really starts to go too far with the guests, pouring milk on a guy and smashing a kid's face into his birthday cake. Top pulls up to Yuck E. Cheese, which is an actual Chuck E. Cheese building with the Yuck E. Cheese logo just superimposed on top of it. The animatronic characters disconnect from their wiring, which lets them roam free throughout the restaurant, causing mayhem. Top sets up a trap for Chucky next to an arcade cabinet in this cool, evil-looking Zoltar machine. Speaking of arcades, that actually reminds me of today's sponsor, War Thunder. It's a video game. I'm so sorry for that horrible transition, but here we go. Listen up, soldier. Today, I'm here to tell you about War Thunder. War Thunder is an amazing online military action game. It offers realism, customization, a bunch of fun vehicles, and now the Alpha Strike update. In the game, Hungarian aviation is now available along with a plethora of new equipment, both modern and classic. Visual effects have been improved significantly, and gameplay has been refined based on community requests. There's also a new map for intense tank and aviation battles, North Holland. Fight in the red light district or create a small apocalypse in the shopping center. War Thunder has diverse gameplay. There's air forces, ground forces, and now naval forces as well. Each one controls in its own unique way, with some pretty true-to-life gameplay. What's incredibly cool is that you can actually customize all your vehicles as well, making them really your own. The game's available on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Mac. So, download War Thunder for free by using the link in the description. All new players and those who haven't played War Thunder for half a year or more will receive some special bonuses, rentals for the P-40E1 aircraft and M4 tank for an entire week, along with free unique skins for them. A special Decorator, Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, 3 premium vehicles for a week of premium account, and even more gifts. So hurry up. The American Vehicle bonus season will end soon. Anyway, Top is on the attack, and Chucky is evading most of his advances. This is where one of the most iconic shots of the video happens, since a variation of it is shown in the thumbnail. That being the ball pit scene where Chucky tries to hide from the attackers and then tackles this devil chicken guy. Watching the crowd, you can really see how much fun everyone was having while filming this. Well, except for this little girl. But that's besides the point. Chucky kicks over some pizzas and eventually gets trapped by Top, completing his objective. The video ends with Chucky behind bars being driven away in a pest control van. This video is something that lived in the back of my mind for like half of my life, with it really creeping me out back when I was little. Being a big fan of Chuck E. Cheese and the history of it at the time, this video fascinated me while disturbing me at the same time. And I always had so many questions. Who the hell are these guys? Why do they want Chucky dead? Where was this filmed? Was it an actual Chuck E. Cheese restaurant? All these questions flowed through my mind as I sat there rewatching this video whenever it popped up in my recommendations, captivating me every single time it did. After Chuck gets driven off, 2 links are shown, so I got curious. I discovered that this band's lore goes deep. Very deep, and it's way more than I could have imagined in all honesty. Both of the links that are provided in this video are dead. However, there is an official Radioactive Chicken Heads website that's still up to this day, which helps us unravel some of what's going on here. The site gives you information on where you can find their social media, some of their most popular music videos, merchandise, and many other things that you'd often find on a band's website. However, when you navigate over to the Photos tab, you can see the different band members and their respective names. You'll find that these band members are fully in character and credited as such. You'll see characters like Birdbrain, Sergeant Cyclops, Nuke Boy, and the band's lead singer, Carrot Top. Now, you may notice that there are a lot of frequent band members, which I found interesting. We'll get more into that later when we take a look at what else these chickens have made. Looking at their bio, we find this curious description. Not your average band of poultry punks fronted by a giant mutant vegetable. The Radioactive Chicken Heads are rapidly spreading their genetically modified rock and roll across the planet. Beware, if you're reading this, you may have already been contaminated. This motley group of mutants first emerged from the laboratory of Dr. Baron von Kluckenstein, a product of the infamous mad scientist's experiment to create supersized frankenfoods. Tired of being cooped up in a dreary lab all day, the Radioactive Chicken Heads escaped to freedom and have since dedicated their lives to rocking out. Since making their national television debut on the Tyra Banks Show in 2006, the Radioactive Chicken Heads toured the US, Canada, Mexico, and Peru, released 4 full-length albums, filmed numerous music videos, and produced their own video game. In October of 2017, the Chicken Heads premiered the new album Tales from the Coop, as well as a 3-part television pilot. By exposing the masses to their musical mayhem, the band hopes to bridge the gap between all humans, chickens, and vegetables on Earth and beyond. You'll soon see that that's their story, and they're sticking to it. As you can see by that paragraph, they've had a bunch of adventures throughout different types of media, which made me wonder how long they've been around, which I eventually found while scouring YouTube. All the way back in 1993, Joe and the Chicken Heads was created, a unique band with kitschy papier-mâché looking heads on different band members. Initially, this concept was actually a comic book that lead singer Carrot Top had conceptualized, which then became the band. Their unique style of performance was inspired by Green Jelly, a metal band which employed comedic use of puppets in their videos and performances. Joe and the Chicken Heads had their first performance in a bar mitzvah in 1994, and throughout the 90s created music videos, demo tapes, and had multiple live performances. From the very start, Joe and the Chicken Heads were fully selling the immersion, with every character always being present and unique. This even extended into some manufactured beef with another themed local band by the name of Aquabats, a superhero-themed band. This rivalry was all in good fun, and both sides partook in the feud. From the beginning, Pest Control was one of their main songs. It seems that the band really had it out for Chuck E. Cheese, so the prevalence of the song made sense. They ended up getting into an episode of Extreme Gong around Halloween of 1998. In this show, the audience would basically call a number pertaining to whether or not they wanted the people who were playing to progress through and keep playing, or get gonged and be forced to stop playing. And of course, leave the stage. Like, that's it. If you're gonged, you're done. About a minute through Pest Control, they got gonged, but kept on playing, likely because they didn't even realize the fact that they were gonged, or they just didn't care, which, you know, is pretty punk rock in all honesty. Interestingly enough, this wouldn't be their only time on the Gong Show, but we'll get onto that later. On YouTube, you can actually find videos from the 1990s of these Joe and the Chicken Head days. And I'm not gonna lie, these are so incredibly cool and creepy, and they give off major found footage vibes. Many of these shows and videos seem to be in just random locations, adding to the already eerie vibe that they have. In these videos, you can see some old characters that aren't in the band anymore, such as Alvin, as in Alvin and the Chipmunks Alvin. Here's a segment from his song.
Hey Alvin, we've been noticing you've been having a lot of problems lately. You should maybe get away, and maybe you should talk about it. You'll feel a lot better, and I don't know. It's okay, I'll figure it out. Just leave me alone, I'll figure it out. I'll just work it out myself. They go, well, if you want to talk about it, I'll be here, So why don't you talk about it? I don't know. I don't want to. I'm okay. I'll figure it out myself. They just keep...
Something I want to note about these guys is their pure dedication to stage presence and really putting on a show for the audience. For example, every time that they play a song like Pest Control, Chucky comes out on stage and Carrot Top beats him up, often cutting off his tail. Once the song is over, Chucky leaves and then just isn't really seen again. It's little things like this that set the band apart from the rest. In the year 2000, Joe and the Chicken Heads released their first album, and then in 2004 officially changed their name to what they're known as today, the Radioactive Chicken Heads. On December 17th, they created their YouTube channel. The first official Radioactive Chicken Heads video released on the channel was named I Look Into the Mirror, a cover of a Barry Lewis Pulsar song. This video was awesome and carries the same bizarre vibe that Pest Control does, with the weird color scheme and sets alongside this real sky. In this video, Carrot Top looks into the mirror and sees a creepy version of himself. As backup singers, the little character puppet heads that appear in Pest Control's The Whack-A-Mole game are used. I actually love the creepy Carrot Top in this video, which I soon learned was named Evil Carrot, and is a reoccurring character. After this music video, they uploaded 3 clips from a recent show, and then after those, Pest Control came out. The more you look through the channel, the more interesting things get, such as the introduction of a new character by the name of Rockin Robin, who ends up being pretty important later on. You'll also find that they were on the Tyra Banks Show in 2006, as mentioned on their website, playing to a somewhat confused crowd. By searching even further, you'll find that Carrot Top has his own individual YouTube channel where you can find a bunch of super fascinating videos, such as some old recordings of early performances of Pest Control, alongside a demo from 1996 of the same song.
Are you getting sick and tired of the rodent infestation? Then call the best in pest extermination.
Which has such a different vocal style, which, as the comments say, he was only a baby carrot at the time. Speaking of baby carrots, I also found this adorable video of a little kid wearing a Carrot Top mask at Chuck E. Cheese, following around the mascot character trying to pick a fight with him. And it's truly hilarious and awesome. There's also an odd clip of a TLC My Strange Obsession episode where a woman who's obsessed with carrots meets Carrot Top, and it sure is something.
He's a carrot maniac. Feels really nice. He has an unhealthy obsession with the most healthy of vegetables. Carrot.
Well, it was fantastic meeting him and dreaming. He's my carrot dream come true.
I could be here all day showing you all the cool things on this channel, but what I found to be the most interesting was raw behind the footage scenes of Pest Control. Seeing this raw footage is so incredibly cool and brings me that same feeling as seeing those alternative pictures for the Evanescence Fallen album art. That feeling of seeing something so familiar at a different angle with added context is just so incredibly cool. There are two different videos displaying two different shots, one being a close-up of Carrot Top and the band on stage, while the other is a wide shot showing off the insane commotion happening both within the band members themselves and all the guests at Yuck E. Cheese. Speaking of them, this must have been the most entertaining shoot for these people, especially the little kids who just got to throw food at each other and go crazy. That is an 8-year-old's dream right there. Speaking of Pest Control, as I was watching through the live performances of this song to see if they did indeed fight Chuck E. Cheese every single time it was played, they did, I found this interesting clip.
This is a song about my job at Chuck E. Cheese. And there was a very big rat there. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Chuck E. Cheese, but this is a song called Pest Control.
So, it turns out Carrot Top used to work at Chuck E. Cheese. That honestly explains the distaste. Stay tuned for more info on that later, by the way. I also found out that there was actually a Mandela Effect with this video. That's right. Oddly enough, some people vividly remember Rockin Robin being a part of this video, standing between El Pollo Diablo and Nuke Boy. This was never the case. But it got to the point where Rockin Robin herself, who also has an official YouTube channel of her own, had to debunk this claim. From what I know, she wasn't associated with the Chicken Heads at the time, but despite that, many people still remember her being there. This is likely because there are so many characters that already kind of look like her, and there's also another female band member, that being Cherry Tomato. That likely explains the Mandela Effect. Also, something really interesting is that Carrot Top and Rockin Robin started off as enemies and ended up as lovers, and are now married to this day. Whether or not they're actually together outside the band's lore, I really don't know, but either way, they're a pretty cute couple. She's part of the band now, but as far as I know, mostly acts as a backup dancer and sometimes does vocals. Anyway, you remember how the band was on the Gong Show back in the 90s? Well, in 2017, they actually returned, this time being judged by celebrities. They played their cover of Surfing Bird, which honestly would make Peter Griffin very proud. However, within just a few seconds of playing the song, Jack Black doesn't seem to like it very much. Will Arnett, however, is having a great time. Jack gets up to gong them, but Will tries to stop him. However, his attempts are not successful and Jack Black gongs the Radioactive Chicken Heads. They take their loss in stride as Rockin Robin comes out and does her bit real quick, while Mike Myers explains to them that they've been gonged. It's honestly so awesome, and I love how many weird media appearances these guys have had. But like, come on, Jack Black. Not cool. Something I find really cool is that in 2020, the Chicken Heads released what is essentially a sequel to Pest Control. This video being a parody of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is definitely fitting. In the video, Carrot Top is hired as a night watchman for Yuck E. Cheese Pizza Slime Theater. Our phone guy for this video is that of the Phantom of the Pizzeria. Throughout, we see Carrot Top checking the cameras, and seeing these animatronics move. On display is a brand new Chuck E. Cheese who genuinely looks so good and so creepy. The set of this video looks so incredibly cool, with what looks to be an actual arcade being used. Throughout this video, we see that the Phantom of the Pizzeria is actually operating the animatronics and using them to attack our poor night watchman. This video has a bunch of awesome callbacks to Pest Control, including the Whack-A-Chicken arcade game, with what seems to be the same puppets that they've been using since the start. Overall, it's such a cool video and was filmed at a place called Cosmic Cube, which is an incredibly cool place you can rent for film shoots, and their sets are too freaking cool. This new version of Chucky has appeared in many more videos since. After seeing all this amazing stuff, I had to go out and listen to more of the discography, so I went and bought a CD from them. Check it out. It is now unboxing time. For the first time in a long time, I've actually been on camera doing something like this. I'm excited for it. I have got a package from the Radioactive Chicken Heads, and I'm really excited to open it up for you guys. First, I gotta pull out my official Scallywags NYC branded knife. Follow us. That's my band. We're not as good, but it's okay. And let's see what goodies we've got in here. Wait a minute. Did I get 2 CDs? So we got Radioactive Chicken Heads, Music for Mutants, right here, which is the CD that I ordered. As you can see, we have the classics on here, which is very exciting. I just love physical media in general, and I listen to all my music on this little guy right here, which is just a fantastic little thing. It still works. It's booting up right now. So CDs to me are actually a very valuable thing because I can just put them straight onto my computer and load them onto this guy, which is awesome. So we have Music for Mutants, and then alongside that, we have Tales from the Coop, which to my knowledge, I did not order, but I am very, very happy to have seen. So thank you very much, Radioactive Chicken Heads, for the free CD. I am going to enjoy this quite a lot. Now, let me see if there's anything else in here. Whoa, wait, hold up. These guys rock. Look at this. To Raymundo, Carrot Top, a little signed signature alongside little drawing. This rocks, and this makes me so happy. Holy moly, this is awesome. Thank you, Carrot Top. This is so cool. I am really happy to see this. So I'm gonna check out what's actually in these cases. There might be more goodies and surprises. I genuinely had no idea. Again, I went on Bandcamp and I ordered this guy. Okay, so gonna first get Music for Mutants taken out. This is such cool artwork for this album right here. As you can see, we got Bird Brain at the front. Out pops the CD, which is so freaking cool. Well, there we go. This will be loaded onto my iPod very soon. You'll see footage of that, like it playing on there. Yeah, so 2000s, all that stuff. I love it. This guy, actually, now I need the knife again, unless I can just be a man and use my hands. Hands weren't made for this, what knives, you know what I'm saying. So Tales from the Coop. Oh, this is awesome. So there's a bunch of different panels to this. This is like kind of more than I was expecting, in all honesty, but it's really cool. We got all the characters here, including the titular Chuck E. Cheese. But not Chuck E. Cheese, like Chuck E. Cheese, like Chuck E. Cheese, like kill Chuck E. Cheese, you know what I'm saying. So the foes right here against the band themselves, or at least the new characters that are here. I'm not sure they're all foes. I think that Agent RR, which is Rockin Robin, I'm missing some lore. I need to listen to this. I'm gonna get it soon, but I'm pretty sure that Carrot Top and Rockin Robin are not enemies. I think as well this is a poster. It is. Oh, what? That is what I'm talking about, man. That rocks. Look at this. Oh my goodness, and it's got all the lyrics on the back of it. I feel spoiled right now. I guess this is YouTuber privilege. This rocks. This is far more than I was expecting. I'm gonna just kind of put everything that I got from this up. This right here to me is priceless, and it's gonna go on my door and you're gonna see it. I love the sticker. Genuinely another cool obscure band I can gatekeep. Only joking, of course. 2 CDs right here. The signed Carrot Top drawing. You know, he might just do it for everyone, and I'm just feeling special. I bought this album, and then I had reached out to them over Instagram to do like an interview, which you'll see later or before this already, I'm not sure. Just letting them know I was gonna do this and if they're interested in doing something. They had responded to me, confirming, and then that day I had bought this album. And so I suppose they saw, you know, put 2 and 2 together that the Raymundo from Bandcamp was the same Raymundo from 2112 Instagram, and put this beautiful suite together for me. This will be in the background of my videos now. So will the CDs, most likely. I kind of display CDs on my wall. Here we go, Radioactive Chicken Heads. Thank you very, very much. This is awesome. You guys rock. And I cannot wait to listen to all of these tracks. So that wraps it up for the unboxing segment, and now we're gonna go into something else that I'm not sure of yet, but maybe I can dub it in now, I guess. So personally, there are still a lot of questions that I had about this band, and especially about that Chucky YouTube video from all that time ago. So, I reached out directly to Carrot Top to get an interview. Now, I can finally ask all those questions that have been on my mind since I was a little kid. So without further delay, here is the one and only Carrot Top, lead of the Radioactive Chicken Heads. Alright, so how are you doing, Carrot Top? How's your day been?
I'm doing amazing as I can be for a vegetable.
Hell yeah. So I just got a couple questions. You know, I have been immersing myself in the radioactivity for the past few weeks now. I guess one of the main things, and something I've been wondering since I was a, 8-year-old child, is, what did Chuck E. Cheese ever do to you?
Oh, let me tell you. I was working as an exterminator, and I caught a call from a pizza place. They said, we have a rat problem, and this is not just any rat. We have a giant rat terrorizing the pizza place, frightening the children, stealing the pizza. We need your help. So I got in my van and I drove down there, and Chuck E. Cheese was right there. I met Chuck E. Cheese that night, and I did my best to exterminate him. I caught him.
Hell yeah. I saw a clip of you actually from, I want to say 2010 or so, of a live show. You mentioned you used to work at Chuck E. Cheese. It was one of your earlier jobs. So did you have prior beef with the rat?
We never really got along because I'm all about keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out, Chuck E. Cheese is sometimes it's a robot, sometimes it's a man in a costume.
Fair enough.
I've said it before, but there's nothing more pathetic than a grown man in a costume.
Exactly. Can't stand that stuff. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I see the inconsistency. I understand. Yeah, because I can tell it's the bowler hat Chuck E. Cheese from the Pizza Time Theater era. So I imagine that's when you were within his premises.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't so cute back then. He ages in reverse.
He does. It's weird. I'm actually going to Chuck E. Cheese tomorrow, and I'm going to try a pizza for the first time in 10 years or so. This is Emo Pizza Review, episode 1, I suppose. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been looking forward to eating Chuck E. Cheese. It's been a long time. It holds up. It does. I'm a pizza snob. This stuff is... What can I say? Chuck E. Cheese is good pizza.
We like Chuck E. Cheese because they're so good for the environment.
How so?
They recycle.
Hey, yeah, that's true. So your beef with Chucky's gone a long time, and then of course you came back. Somebody was watching you at the Pizza Slime Theater. How was that experience?
I was just really paranoid. I really thought Chucky came back and was watching me. And it turned out he was! You know what? I should have known better than to take a job from somebody called the Phantom of the Pizzeria.
Fair enough. It's
gonna go well.
I know. As a musician myself, sometimes doesn't pay the best. You gotta get little odd jobs here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And trust me, you wouldn't believe it, but it's kind of hard for me to find a job looking like this.
Yeah, I would imagine. A little bit of a...
Little prejudice.
That's not cool. That's not cool. So you guys came from Baron von Kuckenstein. That is not the right thing. Kluckenstein. All the way back in, I want to say 1993. Is that correct?
Way back then, yes.
Crazy. Joe and the Chicken Heads. What is the craziest thing that's happened through all these years of performing with the whole band? Is there anything, or maybe 3 things that come to mind that are just... insane?
One of them was we were playing at a place called Skatopia on our tour in 2008.
Okay.
We went on tour with Green Jello back then. We played at this skate park called Skatopia. It's 88 acres of anarchy. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, but somebody threw a firecracker at me.
No way.
While we were on stage. It landed in the pocket of my vest, and I caught on fire. Somebody was hitting me, and I didn't know why. They're like, dude, you're on fire. So somebody from MTV filmed it, but I never saw the footage. I don't think they ever aired it.
Now that's footage I wish to have seen. So that's the craziest thing that's happened.
Yeah, that would probably be the craziest thing I can remember. Definitely fallen off stage many times.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened. Been attacked by all kinds of things. Oh, here's a crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the Gong Show back in 2017. We got gonged by Jack Black. By coincidence, the very next show we did, a week that the show aired, was hosted by Jack Black. He didn't know we were going to be there.
What? No way.
Look on his face when he had to introduce us.
Did he mention the gonging at all, or did he just try to ignore it?
Oh yeah, they played the video on the screen.
No, that was actually gonna be one of my questions. How do you feel about Jack Black? Do you guys have beef, or are you chill? What's going on?
I mean, we didn't expect him, to gong us so fast. In fact, he gonged us so fast that when you watch the video of the Gong Show, they edited in our sound check. That's why the audio's all wonky and everything.
Really?
Because he actually gonged us in 5 seconds.
No way. That's
But,
wild.
Appreciate it. You know what?
Yeah.
We're okay now. We did that show with him. It wasn't really his thing. He's not really into punk rock. He's more into metal.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We did the Bad Bunny song. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, there you go.
You know, it's all right. It's okay now.
Fair enough.
Things have happened than being gonged by Jack Black.
Right. I mean, also the Gong Show clip from the Joe and the Chicken Heads days from what, 1996 or 7?
1998. Halloween 1998.
1998. Wow. Yeah. I saw
That was our
they
first time on TV.
really. That's really cool.
It was quite that, and that was on live. It was like a virtual gong. There wasn't a physical gong. We were the first act. I thought there was going to be somebody like
Right.
with a big gong, but it was just like a graphic on the screen and a sound effect. We didn't even know we got gongs. We just kept playing.
That's right. That's right.
We were playing so loud that we couldn't hear the gong sound effect, and there wasn't a real gong. I thought there was going to be somebody with a mallet.
Right.
There wasn't.
Fair
It was
enough.
a lower budget gong show. We didn't
Right.
have the budget for the gong. It's called Extreme Gong Show. It was on the Game Show Network.
Yeah, I've looked all the way back to your really old music videos, and there's some band members that aren't there anymore, such as Alvin. You know where Alvin's at today?
Yeah, Alvin's in the nut house.
Makes sense. That's fitting.
Went a little crazy. He got institutionalized.
Yeah, checks out.
All he wanted was a hula hoop. Dave wouldn't give it to him. Maybe you'll see some of them again. You might see some of these pictures again. Maybe they'll
Little
let him out.
teaser maybe for upcoming projects.
I'm not saying that, but you might see him again.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Not that I want you to spoil anything or anything, but fans of the Radioactive Chicken Heads, whether new or old, is there something to look forward to coming soon?
Yes, there is. We are working on not one, but 2 compilations of rare and lost tracks. So many. It's going to be 2 albums worth of lost and rare tracks. I think the fans are really going to be into this. There's like alternate versions that you haven't heard before. Ones that you may have heard only if you're like a really hardcore fan. But I guarantee there's stuff that nobody's heard before.
That's amazing. So just things that you recorded like back in the day and never released?
It's a mix of that, of all through the years.
Do you ever intend to make your videos like kind of creepy or unnerving, or was that just kind of a byproduct of the nature of them?
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional to make them creepy. We didn't realize they were creepy to people. They were normal videos to us.
Okay. Hey, I mean, by all means,
But I don't mind. People are creeped out by them.
fair enough. Fair enough. It's your own radioactive chicken culture, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
So, I have been kind of keeping up on the love story between you and Rockin Robin. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Thanks for asking.
Amazing.
I should have asked Rockin Robin to pop in here, but
So you guys are together outside of the performances, or is it more like an on-stage relationship?
no, it's real. Everything we do, everything you see is 100% real.
There you go. You heard it here
We got
first.
married in real life, and you can see our wedding on our YouTube channel.
And it was full on. The whole band was there, right?
They were.
That's fantastic. I love that. You
No,
guys
we
live together?
always keep it real. Everything you see is real. Some people go, oh, that's just an act. No,
I saw you did a venue that was a kid's birthday party, like outside of a swimming pool. That's
that
the
was a lot of fun.
coolest thing.
People will ask us, they'll give us a little bit of money, some food, and we'll come home and play. We'll play your backyard.
Do you have any shows upcoming?
We do. We're playing Friday, April 26th at Gardena Cinema for opening for a movie that we were in, the West Coast premiere of a film called Spirit Riser. We got a big 30th anniversary show we're planning.
Ooh.
I don't have the date yet, but we're going to be releasing Tales from the Coop on vinyl at our 30th anniversary show sometime this year.
So the fans have something to feast on. I was actually wondering, something that I've been wondering since I was like a little kid, is where was Pest Control initially filmed, the first one? Because when I was little, I was like, was this filmed at a Chuck E. Cheese? Was it filmed at just like a warehouse? Where was this filmed?
Here's the true story. It was filmed just on a stage. Yeah, it was just basically a plain old stage.
Really?
We decorated it ourselves
Huh.
to make it look like Chuck E. Cheese.
That is
And
crazy.
you can actually see, before we even shot that video, we played a party at that same place. You can see some of the live videos. on our
Really?
channel. Now it is a pet hotel, I believe.
That's crazy. Because I always, the scene of you rolling up to Yuck E. Cheese, which is like an actual, Chuck E.
okay,
Cheese
well,
movie.
that's a different location. That's a real
Right.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The exterior shots are a real Chuck E. Cheese, and we did it real fast.
Pre-Five Nights at Freddy's, by the way, I'd like to think I did it before it was cool. But I thought that like the history of Chuck E. Cheese was really fascinating. I used to go there a lot. Divorced parents, so lots of Chuck E. Cheese trips. I kept wondering where was it filmed because it resembles a Pizza Time theater very, very well. Were the kids actually scared or were they acting?
I think some of them were really scared. If you see the girl,
Yeah,
El Pollo Diablo comes up behind.
yeah.
Now, she claimed that she was just acting, but I don't know. Is she just a great actor or what? Because she looks terrified. That little girl, when she grew up, she came to one of our shows. And
Oh, that's so cool. The reunion.
There was so much stuff that didn't even get shot. There was so much chaos going on. There was a part where I jumped off the stage and landed on a table. You can see a little bit of it, the aftermath, but the table split in half. There was a lot of cool stuff. And when I first saw the raw footage, I was like, what happened to all these other crazy things we did? They weren't there. But now, after years later, I think, you know, I don't worry about that anymore. But we did so many gags and so many things for that video. And a lot of it was just like our memories of Chuck E. Cheese, how it was. Because the first time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, it was a terrifying experience.
Have you been to a Chuck E. Cheese since then, like the more modern versions?
Yes, I have, and I was actually disappointed. It's not as scary anymore. I don't know why they don't make it scary again.
Right. The lights are all bright.
I wanted to go back once, you know, I was braver. I'll tell you, this is a true story.
Okay.
The first time I went to Chuck E. Cheese, I was invited to a birthday party. I was a tiny baby carrot, and my uncle saw the invitation, and he warned me. He said, if Chuck E. Cheese looks you in the eye, you will die. So the entire time I was there, I was hiding so Chuck E. Cheese couldn't see me, and I actually had nightmares for months about Chuck E. Cheese looking at me, and I died.
Really? Wow, look, that is some backstory right there.
In my mind, Chuck E. Cheese was always a scary place.
Fair enough, honestly. I mean, the Chuck E. Cheeses of old were kind of creepy, like the dim lights.
Very dark. It was very dark.
Right.
And then I remember this. They would do a song, and then hands or limbs would come out of the wall and then go back in.
Right. Oh, so you went to like a really, really old, like the 70s locations.
I mean, it was in the 80s, but maybe they were still like that.
Were they coming out of like portraits, the characters?
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
They had like taxidermy animals who were talking. They had just limbs in the walls, gloves on them.
Right.
On the walls, like as trophies.
You went to the creepiest version.
It.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what the case was. There's a place.
Very, very dark. You couldn't see anything except for like the Chuck E. Cheese band. That really inspired me when we wrote the song.
Have you been to like the new, like they have no animatronics, there's just like you know, some games and like a crappy dance floor. It's not cool. I don't
understand why they got rid of them.
I know.
Because they were terrifying children, but that was the cool thing about it. The fans are very obsessed. They know everything about everything we've ever done. We have certain fans that don't ever miss a show. They go to every single show we do. And I started to realize that a few years ago that Pest Control was becoming a more and more popular song and video, because we did a show and we didn't play it. It wasn't on the set list. And somebody said, I drove 3 hours to hear you play Pest Control. So since then, we've been putting it in the set list every show.
Do you ever get like kind of annoyed at its success? Like I know some people, you know, their big popular thing is adored, and you know, sometimes you just want to move on and make something new. Do you feel that way about Pest Control, or do you still kind of love it the same way?
I don't. I still like it. It's funny, when I wrote the song, I thought people are going to love this song, and nobody really cared. And then we first put the video out, people didn't really pay that much attention either, and I thought everyone's going to love it then. So I'm just happy people are into it now.
Hey, there you go. It just took some time to catch up.
It was on the 1996 one, the original version. I went to a record label in 1996, and I brought them the tape of the song, and I played it for the guy at the record label, and he listened to about 30 seconds of it and turned it off and gave me back the tape.
No!
Little
what?
Did he know. Little did he know.
Little did he know. Hey,
The very first version was recorded in my bedroom.
Really?
It was using this drum set right behind me.
The same exact one?
Same one, yeah. Well, it was recorded with a couple Radio Shack microphones.
That is so
We actually
cool.
did four homemade cassettes before we started recording in recording studios. We would bring them to school and sell them, and we'd bring them to like music stores and pizza places and try to sell them for $1 or $2. There's also a documentary all about Radioactive Chicken Heads. It's been in the works for about 7 years. It's still supposed to come out sometime. It's still happening. Can't tell you who's releasing it yet, but it's gonna happen. It was filmed over the course of 7 years, plus it has all this archival footage.
Oh, that's perfect.
We were on the intro for America's Got Talent.
Okay, yeah.
We weren't on the actual show.
How did that work? They were just like, hey, do you guys want to record the intro?
They asked us to be on America's Got Talent. We did an audition video. You can see our audition videos on YouTube. We did. They came back to us and said, you got to do like something more popular. We did a Taylor Swift song for our audition. And then here's something I don't even told the band, but they got back to me and they said, okay, we want you to be on the show. But the email went into my spam folder and I didn't read it until it was too late.
Oh no.
So we ended up just being on they filmed something with us for the intro instead. Well, we didn't make it to the show because of spam filters. We are never ever getting back together.
Oh, that rocks.
That's what was recommended by America's Got Talent. They chose that song.
That's perfect.
For us to do. have videos that have been taking years in the making. In fact, the pest control video, I came up with the idea for it in '96, and the video didn't get made until 2007.
Wow.
11 years later. We were looking around for a Chuck E. Cheese or someplace like it that we could film for years. And that's why we realized we just got to make our own. But I was thinking about like one of the knockoff places they used to have, which are hard to find now. One of my dreams is we have our own pizzeria with animatronic versions of the chicken heads.
I would go to that. That would be amazing.
It may happen one day.
Hey, listen, I think it'd be a success. People are in desperate need of kitschy animatronic pizza places, you know?
I just don't know if people would want to go to a restaurant called Radioactive Chicken Heads, but we'll see.
Hey, fair enough. If this video, like, if people really like it, I almost want to do, like, a Radioactive Chicken Heads lore video, just going through the story of it all, because, like, it's so interesting, and
yes, please do that.
Right, wouldn't it be cool if people had, like,
a video with other band members, if you want to do that.
That would be so cool. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I think I've said everything that needs to be said for this time. We'll leave something else for the next video.
Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carrot Top. It's been great.
Thank you, Raymundo. Pleasure being on your show.
Haircut 2112 here. If you enjoyed that video, thanks for sticking all the way. If you're here, I assume you did. I have a couple things to say. I'll make it quick though. I want to say a huge thank you to all my patrons, all 4 of them. Those being Sistix, Alexander Hudon, AZZ, and Czechoslovakia. Your support makes this channel happen. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, it's link in the description. You'll get the full Carrot Top interview uncut, which is about 20 minutes longer. My Chuck E. Cheese experience as a grown man, the whole thing was recorded by me and Sistix, who is actually who created that Annoying Orange video. You have probably seen that. He came with me, we went to Chuck E. Cheese. It was awesome. Something else you can find in there is my journey of getting a PlayStation 5 for cheaper. It's not up yet, but I'll get it up in the next few weeks. I went to Dave & Buster's and I won it for cheaper, half the price than a base PS5. So if you want to see that and how I did that, go over to the Patreon and check it out. If you want a Radioactive Chicken Heads CD of your own, just go to Bandcamp or their website and pick up a CD. Honestly, you won't regret it. It's awesome. And you're directly supporting these guys. Alongside that, I have this plushie. His arms move, he's the best. Also in the description as well. If you want one, get one. I think I've said everything I need to say. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Farewell, and rock on.